Join Mind Expansion daily as we brave the dangers and explore the ins and outs of El Salvador's deadliest prison. Can we uncover the truth and make it out in one piece? El Salvador's prison system has garnered a notorious reputation worldwide for its harsh conditions, and in this video, we're going to delve into the heart of this issue, exploring what makes it so infamous and the potential consequences for those who are trapped within its walls. El Salvador's prisons are notorious for being severely overcrowded, with cells often holding triple the intended capacity, leading to squalid conditions that fosters the spread of disease. Violence is a constant threat, with gang rivalries and brutal treatment from guards leaving many inmates terrified for their lives. Human rights concerns abound, as basic necessities like food, water, and sanitation are frequently lacking, making survival a daily struggle. The psychological toll of such an environment is immense, with many prisoners facing severe mental health issues due to the relentless stress and trauma they endure. Gang violence plays a significant role in the prison system, with various factions vying for control and exerting their power over other inmates and even the authorities. This has led to a situation where the prisons are effectively controlled by the gangs, with the government struggling to maintain order. The result is a lethal environment where violence can erupt at any moment, and the rule of law is tenuous at best. Inmates are often forced to affiliate with a gang for protection, further entrenching the cycle of violence. The combination of overcrowding, violence, and lack of resources has created a perfect storm of human rights abuses within El Salvador's prisons. International organizations have repeatedly condemned the conditions, calling for urgent reforms to address the humanitarian crisis unfolding behind the prison walls. Despite these pleas, change has been slow to come, leaving countless inmates to suffer in silence. The situation is a stark reminder of the failures of the justice system and the need for comprehensive overhaul to prioritize rehabilitation over punishment. One of the things these conditions has done is create a disincentive for crime in El Salvador. In fact, El Salvador has become one of the safest countries in Central America. In partnership with the United States, illegal immigrants with criminal records are being sent to El Salvador. This policy has caused many illegal criminals to self-deport themselves from the United States. The history of El Salvador's prison system is marked by periods of turmoil and neglect, contributing to its current state. The country's civil war and subsequent gang violence have overwhelmed the prisons, transforming them into breeding grounds for further violence and criminal activity. The prisons were not designed to handle such large numbers of inmates, nor were they equipped to deal with the sophisticated gang structures that have evolved. As a result, the prison system has become a perpetuator of the very problem it's supposed to solve, exacerbating crime and violence in the society at large. El Salvador's deadliest prison is a product of decades of societal upheaval, governmental instability, and a lack of investment in rehabilitation and justice. The consequences of this neglect are stark, with prisons serving as incubators for crime rather than institutions for reform. The impact on society is profound, with high levels of crime and violence perpetuating a cycle of fear and mistrust among the populace. Breaking this cycle will require a concerted effort to reform the prison system, focusing on rehabilitation, education, and reintegration into society. The evolution of the prison system in El Salvador into one of the deadliest in the world is a cautionary tale of what happens when justice and rehabilitation are overlooked in favor of punitive measures. The emphasis on punishment over reform has led to a self-perpetuating cycle of violence, with the prisons becoming a significant contributor to the country's crime problem. Understanding the history and development of this crisis is crucial for devising effective solutions that address the root causes of crime and violence, rather than just their symptoms. In one of the prisons, a haunting story emerged of a young inmate who was mistakenly identified as a member of a rival gang and was subsequently brutally attacked. This event, like many others, highlights the arbitrary violence that can strike at any moment, leaving inmates living in constant fear. It also underscores the urgent need for reform, to create an environment where such atrocities are not only condemned but also prevented. The personal stories of those trapped within the prison walls serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of systemic failure. The history of the prison system in El Salvador is intertwined with the country's turbulent past, including civil wars and gang conflicts. This complex and often violent history has directly influenced the prisons, transforming them into what they are today. The prison crisis is not just a matter of overcrowding or poor conditions, it's a symptom of deeper societal issues that require a multifaceted approach to solve. By exploring these historical and societal factors, it becomes clear that solving the prison crisis is essential for the country's overall stability and safety. A key event that brought international attention to the plight of El Salvador's prisons was a massive prison riot that resulted in dozens of deaths and highlighted the extreme levels of violence and desperation within the prison walls. This tragic event served as a wake-up call, prompting calls for reform and attention to the dire situation within the prisons. It also brought to light the stories of those who have suffered, fostering a sense of urgency and solidarity with the inmates and their families. The personal stories of inmates, marked by fear, violence, and despair, offer a glimpse into the harsh realities of life within El Salvador's deadliest prison. These stories humanize the statistics and the headlines, reminding us that behind every inmate, there's a family, a story, and a future that's being lost to the system. By sharing these stories, we hope to create an emotional connection with our viewers, inspiring empathy and action towards addressing the crisis. The story of a former inmate who managed to escape the cycle of violence and is now working to help others do the same is a beacon of hope. His journey, from being trapped in the prison system to becoming an advocate for change, shows that rehabilitation is possible and that with the right support, individuals can change their paths. His story, and others like it, emphasize the importance of investing in programs that focus on rehabilitation and reintegration, offering a way out of the prison system and back into society. El Salvador's prison crisis is a complex issue rooted in history, societal problems, and a lack of investment in justice and rehabilitation. The consequences are dire, with prisons serving as incubators for crime and violence rather than institutions for reform. It's crucial that we understand the depth of this crisis and the need for comprehensive reform. If you've watched this video and are as moved as I am by the stories and the plight of those trapped within El Salvador's deadliest prison, please share your thoughts in the comments below. For more on crime and punishment in Central America, check out my previous video, where we explored the broader regional context and the challenges faced by countries in addressing these issues. Mind Expansion Daily truly appreciates you.